These are your original Filipinos, the Aeta people. Look at the hair. Look at what they look like. This is what you think a Filipino looks like today, even the darker version. These are the Filipinos you talk to on the phone or see on the cruise ships or see in the media. They don't tell you about these. Now, this document doesn't deal with Philippines, but I want to twist your mind back so you can get that same idea of the caste system of differences in races that have came into certain areas at times. So this one is talking about Mexico, and Mexico had a very similar fate. Mongolians who look like this have came into the area and started mixing with people long ago, and they got you thinking they are the indigenous people in some of these places, just like Mexico and just like America. But really, they come out looking like this when they mix with one of these. So let me get back to this. We go back to old Mexico and see the crowning glory of Roman Catholic civilization. The intermarriage of Indians and Spaniards, now they were doing Spaniards, makes a mixed race, even though, let me say this, they don't tell you about the Spaniards bringing in Filipinos as well as Mongolians and Siberians to their area, to New Spain during this time, okay? As you can see here, through the Texas State Historical Association, New Philippines was the name, and it says, although less popular than the name of Texas, Nuevas Filipinas remained part of the province's official name throughout the colonial period. Here's said map, Nuevas Filipinas as Texas. They wouldn't call it that if they didn't have Filipinos coming there. But on top of that, you have Alta, California. Thanks to, shout out to Signs for the Conscious Mind. He told me that Alta talks about is related to the Alta or something people in Asia or Siberia or something over there as well. So you have Alta, California, which denotes that they were bringing in Asians, as well as Nueva Filipinas, where they were bringing in Filipinos or Siberians possibly mixed with the original Aeta people, Filipinos. So we get back to this. Same thing happened in Mexico. Okay, the intermarriages of Indians and Spaniards makes a mixed race, which should be of high standard state of civilization. It does in the free civilized nations of the territory, but in Mexico and South America, we find revolution and anarchy. We glance at Rome herself and find in Italy gross ignorance and bigotry. Bandits openly raid the public highways and capture her best citizens and hold for a large ransom, and the nation is powerless to interfere. So basically what they're talking about here is they came in, they started intermixing with the population, and then some of these people, they don't really like it. In certain areas, they have been revolution and anarchy because of the way they are getting done into this caste system. I've shown people as far back as 1792 in the newspaper where they were encouraging in the United States as well intermarriages between whiteys and Indians. It has been suggested that the best method to facilitate the civilization of the Indians and attach the United States would be to encourage intermarriages of whites with them. Okay, so that's one. Here's another one in 1816 where they talk about if the system already devised has not produced all the effects which were expected from it, new experiments ought to be made. When every effort to introduce among them the Indian savages ideas of exclusive property in things real as well as personal shall fail, let intermarriages right there between them and the whites be encouraged by the government. This cannot fail to preserve the race with the modifications necessary of the enjoyment of civil liberty and social happiness. Now again, that was 1793. This is 1883. Mixed races, intermarriage of Indians, Negroes, and whites. How many whitey men get a wife and a farm too? And it goes even more. But I wanted to show you just those three. I got several more that encompass over 100 years at least in the newspaper, where they admit that they were purposely intermarrying with the Indians, whether it be in North America, whether it be the United States, whether it's in South America and Mexico, or whether it was going on in the Philippines with other people.
Indigenous group that have been living in the Philippines for over 30,000 years. Meet the Aeta tribe of the Philippines. This indigenous group of the Philippines, known as the Aeta, are a group related to the Negrito ethnic group who occupy the Ifugao province of the Philippines. They are characterized by their short stature, kinky hair, and dark skin. The Negritos are thought to be one of the earliest inhabitants of the Philippines about 30,000 years ago. According to history.
Now let's look at some people who talk to some of these people, but I'm trying to throw a whole lot in here at you, but notice the hair, and you're gonna see differences in hair patterns. That's really where you're gonna tell the difference, because the straight hair comes from other people, okay? The straight hair, and so, but the skin tones vary based upon the mixes of the people who get together. Some of these Siberians are darkly colored, because what you'll notice is you got people like him that are amongst the same community, and people like her, but that guy's married to her, and these are their children, I believe. Look at her hair, you see his hair, you see their hair, and what traits they picked up and what traits she doesn't. She actually looks like she's a mix already, a slight mix of a Siberian and a black, an Aeta person. So these kids are getting even more of that mixed in, which is why they probably look the way they do. And you see people like that there, as you can see, they're there all together, coming in, mixing amongst them.
As a building electrician.
Oh yeah.
So, but I'm very tired because the traffic.
Yeah.
Peep the phenotype, facial structure, hair, and everything. Just because he's dark, dusky, tawny, and swarthy, still doesn't mean he's us.
Okay, sometimes when there's no meat, they use the rice, shrimp crackers, and then they dip it in this, and that's what they have. So,
it's delicious.
Okay, let's try it out. Oh, nice. Yeah. This is right there. Okay, yeah, right there. That's the house. Oh no. Okay, yeah. All right, so they have this game where they look at that. It's kind of like yo-yo, something else. We'll see who's about to do it right now. Look at this. They wrap up the ball. Oh, look at that.
What you gotta notice here is you have mixtures of hairstyles. As we know, when a YT mixes with a woolly-haired Negro person, black person, melanated Indian, their hair comes out in different ways. Some are very tightly coiled, curly around, and some are even more so a little bit different, but they're they may come out straight, like that kid right there. That kid's hair straight, this kid's more of a curly straight, and then you have some kids who are just this hair. But you got also kids here. Let me show you.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, it's the family. Balakai?
It's my brother.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's the husband. Okay, that's her husband. Son-in-law. Okay, nice.
Now, before I end this off real quick, I want to show you, but when you typically go to the Philippines, like I said, you're going to see these kind of people at first.
Welcome to the Philippines.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah. All the go around. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, nice.
The intermixing has been encouraged and going on for over hundreds of years, okay? And so when you go to these places and you don't see people that look like us, you know you're not seeing the original people. That's why there's multitudes of people that look like other people in these countries, because they've been colonizing for that long, and they got you all thinking that it's all been backwards. No. YT people here in America make up 240 something million out of the 400 million something million people that's here. That's not a coincidence. They didn't even start really getting here till the 1600s. They flooded the zone, just like they flooded the zone. The Mongolians flooded the zone over there in the Philippines. And then at some point, Spaniards came, took some of them, as well as the Mongolians and Siberians, and maybe even the Negritos, and took them and flooded the zone over here into the Americas from that side, as well as some of the Africans at some point came in, not as many, on the other side. Okay, many of those went to South America. Very, very, very few went to North America. They've been playing, and they're gonna keep playing, but we about to stop this playing.